so we've been talking about what?
Adaption.
Adaption. Okay, prior to starting adaption, what did we speak about?
Behavior.
Behavior. But prior to our last unit, what did we talk about in our last unit? Our last unit we had.
Adaptions.
Our last unit, please raise your hand. Raise your hand. What we talked about? Cells. We talked about cells. Cells. What two cells did we speak about? Down. Animal and what? Plant cells. Animal and plant cells. What do you know about a plant cell? Raise your hand. What do you know about a plant cell? Adams. Plant cell has a cell wall. Why does a plant cell have a cell wall?
To keep it, to keep the inside steady.
And what else? That provides what? That provides what?
Protection.
Protection and what else?
Stability.
Stability. Okay? What does a animal cell, does an animal cell have a cell wall?
No.
What does an animal cell have?
Nucleus.
Cell membrane.
Cell membrane. And what else does an animal cell have? A nucleus. And so what does the nucleus control?
The middle part.
The middle part of the what? The cell. And what comes from the nucleus? What can be found in the nucleus? What? DNA. So that's going to bring us up what we are going to talk about. DNA. And also, let me know about what is asexual. Asexual, raise your hand. Asexual. Christian. One parent for asexual. You only need one parent for asexual. And we watched the Amoeba Sisters on last week, right? So when we did the Amoeba Sisters last week, what was that plant that was asexual? What was that plant that was asexual? Please raise your hand. A hydra. A hydra. And then once that hydra started making something else, it started doing what? It's the small version of a parent. Small version of a parent is called what? Budding. It's called budding. So budding is also asexual. So then we started talking about sexual. Who can tell me about sexual? Brandon. It deals with two parents. What else? What else can you say about sexual reproduction?
It has a variety of DNA.
A variation.
Same.
Variation of DNA. Tell me about asexual DNA.
The same.
Jose, raise your hand. What is it?
Same as the parent.
The same as the parent. The DNA is the same as the parent. So, we started some new vocabulary words on this week. New vocabulary words on this week. So, a dominant. When you think of dominant, what do you think of? Dominant. Just the word dominant. Dominant. What do you think of when you think of dominant? Christian. A boss. What else? Strong. What else? King. What else? Huh? Taking over. Taking over. We on her. Taking over. A boss. What else? King. Huh? Ruler. Okay. We'll take all of those. We'll take all of those. So with a dominant allele up on the board, it says a dominant allele can mask the recessive allele if it is present. Dominant genes always show up. So with the dominant allele, with dominant, how would the letters be for a dominant allele? How would the letters be? How? Raise your hand. How would the letters be for a dominant? Dominant. How would the letters be? Brandon. Huh? Uppercase. For recessive, how would the letters be? For recessive. Kiana. Lowercase letters. Lowercase letters. So dominant is big and what?
Small.
Big and what?
Strong.
Strong, big and what? Big and strong. Or we can say big and what? present, will you be able to see the recessive allele? Tell me, why did you say yes? Tell me, why did you say yes? You just guessed. Okay. If the dominant allele is present, will you be able to see the recessive? You will not be able to see the recessive. Tell me about dominant. We said the dominant is what? Big and what? Strong, big, and bossy. So, if a dominant allele is present, it's always going to show up. A dominant allele is always going to show up. A recessive allele can be hidden or masked if the dominant allele is present. So, if a dominant allele is present with the recessive, will it show up? If a dominant allele is present, it will not, because the dominant does what? Take what? Dominant takes over. The dominant takes over. So if a dominant allele is present with the recessive, will you be able to see that recessive? No, you will not. If a dominant allele is present, you will not be able to see that with the recessive. Okay? Okay? So what is our next word? Our next word, we talked about phenotype. What is phenotype? Phenotype. Phenotype. What is phenotype? Where is your vocabulary words that you have? Phenotype. Please get out your vocabulary words that you have. Please get out your vocabulary words. The vocabulary words that we did yesterday. Yes. Phenotype. What? A physical expression of those genes. What it looks like. So what could be a physical expression? Just use me for example. Physical expression. What do you see? What do you see? My hair. What else? My sweater. What else? My shoes. What else you see? My eyes. My pants. My hair. My lips. So physical. Those are things that you can do what? See. Physical are the things that you can see. You can see those things. What do you see on yourself? What do you see on yourself? Clothes. Oh, you have on clothes. What else? Glasses. Scrunches on your hand. Fingernails. Okay. Shoes. Okay. So those things that you can see. So what is the genotype? A genotype. Genotype, phenotype, and genotype. What is genotype? Genotype.
Actual alleles for a trait.
The actual alleles for a trait. The actual alleles for a trait is called genotype. Genotype. So we had a bell ringer today. What is the genotype? AA. If those letters are capitalized, what is that considered?
Homozygous. It's dominant.
Homozygous what? Dominant. And I'm going to ask Lyric to explain, how did you get to homozygous dominant? To know that was homozygous dominant. Homozygous dominant. How did you get to that? How did we break it down to get to homozygous dominant? Homozygous dominant.
We did a chart.
Did we do a chart? Homozygous dominant. But our word is homozygous dominant. How homeo is what?
Same.
Same. So homeo is the same. Homeo is also called a what?
Prefix.
A prefix. So homeo is a prefix. So dominant, how would the letters for dominant be? Dominant, the letters will be capitalized. So homozygous dominant, the letters will be capitalized. A. So if I have a big A and a small a, what would that be considered?
Heterozygous.
Dominant.
Okay, and what's our prefix?
Hetero.
Hetero. And what does hetero mean? Different. So therefore it will be heterozygous dominant. And we see what letter is big? What letter? What letter? A. A is big. So if we have two small letters, what is that? Homozygous recessive. Because the two letters are what?
Lowercase.
Small. And how those letters, are they the same or different?
Same.
They are the same. So that's how we get homozygous recessive. Recessive, the letters will be how?
Lowercase.
Lowercase, and also you can consider those what?
Same.
Same, and what else?
Different.
Same, and what else? If that is
Dominant.
capitalized,
All lowercase.
lowercase, and it can be also small, lowercase small, small and shy. Small and shy for recessive. Dominant is big and what?
Strong.
Bossy.
Boss.
Dominant is what? Big and what?
Boss.
Bossy. And recessive is small and shy. Small and shy for recessive. Dominant is what? Big and bossy. Big and bossy. Okay? Big and bossy. So, would you be able to see a genotype? Genotype. Would you be able to see a genotype? No. You will not be able to see a genotype. You will not be able to see those genotypes. But you will be able to see what kind of type? Phenotype. You will be able to see phenotype. Okay? You will be able to see the phenotype, not the genotype. So what is this square called?
Unit square.
A what?
Unit.
A punnet.
Upon.
Punnet square. And they use this. Huh? Punnet? Punnet? It's a punnet square. It's a punnet square. So they use this for genetics, right? So this is a square diagram that is used to predict genotypes. So we just went over our genotypes. What are the genotypes that we just went over? Hold on.
Homozygous, dominant,
Okay, and tell me how the letters are for homozygous dominant.
capitalized both of them.
Okay, what's another genotype we went over?
Heterozygous.
Go ahead, Kiana. Homozygous recessive. Tell me how the letters are for homozygous recessive. Lowercase. Are they the same or different? Same. How do you know they are the same? Both lowercase, right? Both lowercase. Are they the same letters or different letters? Same letters. Same letters. What's the other one? Brandon. Heterozygous what? Heterozygous dominant. And tell me about those. They're different. Tell me about the letters. One is uppercase, one is lowercase. Which one is uppercase? The first one or the first one or the second one? The first letter. The first letter. So please take out a piece of paper. Draw this Punnett square. Draw this Punnett square right here. This equals how much?
Oh, the whole.
100% for the whole square. Thank you, Jose. Each square represent how much? What you say, Jose? 25% for each square. Each square is 25%. Each square is 25%. Please get this square down. Please get that square down and make sure you put the numbers, the letters above the square. The letters above the square.
You have to do it exactly like that one.
Yes. That's how you are going to figure out how to do a Punnett square with that information in the front. With the information in the front, that's how we're going to figure out how we're going to do our Punnett square. So if we have a big R and a small r and a big R and a small r, what do we call those? What do we call those? What do we call those? The actual allele is called what? The actual allele, we just went over the word. What? Genotype. 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 Get your piece of paper out and get started.
We gotta draw a flower too.
If you want to, you can draw the flower. Okay? Who all still writing?
So we can draw the flowers in the too.
If you want to, you can draw the flowers in if you want to.
Right on the back.
Yes, that's fine if you write on the back. I'm going to draw the same thing up on the board. Okay. Christian let us know these are our genotypes. Big R, little r is our genotype, okay? So in order for us to complete a Punnett square, the top is going to drop, the side is going to slide. The top is going to
Drop.
the side is going to
Slide.
Okay, let's see what we can do. Okay. Small r, what is that small r at the top going to do? Drop. What about this big R? Where is that going to go? The big R, it's at the top. Drop. And if it's capitalized, does it go in the front? Yes. It does go in the front, so it's going to go. The R's on the side, where do those go? So they're going to slide, so this is going to be RR. And this is going to be a R. This is going to be a R. So, have we completed our Punnett square?
Yes.
Yes, we have. So, if we want to know about our genotypes, and what are our genotypes? What are the names for our genotypes?
Hetero.
Hold on, give me one. Homozygous recessive. I'm going to put this up here. Homozygous recessive. What's another one?
Homozygous,
Okay, and what's the last one? Okay, and hetero what?
Hetero flower.
Okay, so we can do the percentage. This Homozygous recessive. Show it up there. Homozygous recessive. Remember what homo means and what recessive is, and that should help you to get your answer. Homozygous recessive. Homozygous recessive. What does homo mean? Same. What does recessive mean? How would the letters be for recessive? Okay, so find me homozygous recessive.
I know it.
Homozygous recessive.
The one with the white one.
F, homozygous recessive. Homo means what? Same. How would the letters for recessive be? How would the letters be? What did we say? Lowercase. So find the one that's the same lowercase. That's correct. And what's the percentage for that? What's the percentage? What's the percentage? Jose going to help you out, thank you. What's the percentage? 25% because it's only how many squares, Jose? One square. So homozygous recessive is 25%. Okay? Who can show me homozygous dominant? Homozygous dominant. Come on, Adams. Homozygous dominant. Okay, and what's the percentage for homozygous dominant?
What's
25%, thank you. So who can do the heterozygous? Who can do the heterozygous dominant? Heterozygous dominant. Come on, Brandon. Show me. Heterozygous dominant. And how much is that? 50%. Thank you, Brandon. 50%. And so in all, do we get 100% for our Punnett square? We do get a 50% for our Punnett square. So we have recessive is 25%, homozygous dominant 25%, and heterozygous dominant is 50% also. So we will practice on how to do Punnett squares. We will practice on how